Hello, welcome to another episode of Shardcast. I am Pennsylvania, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I know it's been a while since we've had a Shardcast, but I was a little bit under the weather. And of course, we had the holidays. So I'm happy to be back, and I hope that you're happy to be back to see another Shardcast. This is our 14th episode, and this will feature an exhibition match between MythicFishMom and Karn, both of which are big prominent figures in the Hex community. MythicFishMom with his outrageous tweets, and he's done a couple interviews there during the tournament streamers. So, actually, the MythicFishMom will be playing some of the incantation cards, which are new to the Hex Alpha, which we'll get into more detail once those actually appear on the board. So, without further delay here, I'm going to go ahead and take you into the action. Again, we'll be watching this from the point of view of MythicFishMom, which is actually by Mythonia here on Hex TCG. He's going to start off with 2 Blood Shards, 2 Sapphire Shards, Counter Magic, Misfortune, and Oracle Song, and we'll keep that. Karn did win the coin flip, but chooses to go down to 6 cards, it looks like. So he will start us off. And I apologize, he didn't go down 6 cards, he just played his Blood Shard. My apologies. He plays Blood Shard for turn, after keeping all 7 cards. And we'll pass it on over to Mythonia, or MythicFishMom. I'll probably interchange those names back and forth. And Mythonia will play a Sapphire Shard for turn, and pass it right back over. Again, if you are new to the Shardcast, my name is Pennsylvania. As you can see, my Hex tag as well as my Twitter handle right there below me. And I try to bring these a little more often than I have been. Try to give you a kind of esports look at the game. Hex is in alpha right now. It is a new TCG by Cryptozoic. As Karn plays a Blood Shard for turn, along with a Malfunctioning Warbot, which is a 2/2 artifact troop. But at the beginning of Karn's turn, it will deal 1 damage at random to any champion. So that could include himself. Plays this champion power as well, which is Gozog, dealing 1 damage to Mythonia and gaining 1 health back, bringing Karn to 21 and Mythonia to 19. And we'll pass turn back over to Mythonia. Again, Hex is a new TCG. It's all digital from the friends over at Cryptozoic, who did bring you the WoW TCG. We are in the alpha stage, which you can gain access by being a Slacker backer. You visit the website at hextcg.com for more details. Mythonia will drop a Blood Shard, giving him 2 resources and 1 threshold of each, Blood and Sapphire, after he draws a Sapphire Shard for turn. And we'll pass it back over. Being a turn, the Malfunctioning Warbot will deal damage to Karn. It looks like he goes down to 20. Karn plays a Ruby Shard and then a Shamed Gladiator, which is a 2/2 troop and has a gem socket, which that gem is speed in this case. So he will be able to swing with both troops at this point in time, the Malfunction Warbot and the Crazed Gladiator, which with no answer, Mythonia will take 4 to the chin, going down to 15 health. Karn did take 2 damage from that Crazed Gladiator Shamed Gladiator coming in. That's one of the reasons why it's shamed. The 2/2 troop with a gem socket, but it does come in and deal 2 damage to the controller. So Karn's at 18, Mythonia at 15. Mythonia draws another Extinction. Plays a Sapphire Shard, give him 3 resources. Oracle Song, you see, lights up there in his hand because he can play that as a 3-costing card. But we'll probably choose not to play it. That Incantation of Ascendancy has in his hand is a new constant that costs 4, but when it's in play, for each card that he draws, it will put an incantation counter on it. And once it hits 5 counters, it will transform into a 2/2 Lightning Armada, which gets +2/+2 for each card in your hand. So that's a big plus there to hold on that Oracle Song. Karn gets gets another damage from the Malfunction Warbot, going down to 17. Chooses to pass his first main phase and swings both the Warbot and the Shamed Gladiator into Mythonia, bringing him down to 10. Uses champion power, goes back up to 18 health, and Mythonia down to Damage goes down to 11. Mithonia goes down to 10 after the champion charge power. Sorry about that. Plays a Blood Shard in the second main phase and passes turn. Mithonia also plays a Blood Shard and will wipe the board with Extinction. Now that he has 2 threshold of each. So Mithonia's got 10 health. Karn has 18 health. Karn 4 cards in hand. Mithonia has 6 cards. And we'll probably look to get that incantation out as quickly as possible so we can start pumping up the counters on that. That Lightning Armada is very, very powerful if you can get those counters on there. Especially with Oracle Song in hand and Wyatt the Sapper as his champion, which will allow him to draw a card once he gets to 5 charges and 2 Sapphire Threshold. Karn draws his card for turn, going up to 5, and plays a Zentos Inquisitor. A 3/1 troop with a ruby in his gem socket. I can't quite tell what that ruby gem is. I believe that's the when it deals damage, he gets 1 back from the graveyard, maybe? I'm not sure. I can't read that because I can't bring it up higher on my screen. He also plays a Charge Bot, a 1/1 troop that will give his champion 1 charge power. Karn is now out of resources. He has a 3/1 troop and a 1/1 out there, which has Mithonia, who has no troops readily in hand, facing 4 damage on the board. So Mithonia will probably extinct again next turn, unless he draws a powerful troop. Karn passes turn. Mithonia has a Sapphire Shard, Counter Magic, Misfortune, Extinction, Oracle Song, and Incantation of Ascendance. So, like I said, unless he draws something that could be a rather large creature, which not quite sure what he's playing this deck. Eldritch Dreamer would be okay, but it loses to the Inquisitor. So it kind of loses part of its power. It would be good with the draw a card gem in it, with an incantation out there, but we have no evidence to indicate he's playing that in his deck. As it looks like Tony will draw a Sapphire Shard for turn. So yeah, I imagine he'll drop the Extinction here, wiping the board again. Just to buy him a little bit more time. And yep, there goes. He's going to drop the Extinction, which will wipe the board again for a second time. Which will also empty his resource pool, but he hasn't played his resource for turn, so I imagine he'll drop a Sapphire Shard as we see Zentos Inquisitor go back to Karn's hand. That is one of its abilities. So we'll be a 3/1 troop back to Karn's hand, but it does gain a permanent cost of +2, which makes it a 5-cost troop now, which with Karn only having 4 resources, kind of doesn't do him any good. Mithonia drops a Sapphire Shard and passes turn back over to Karn. Karn draws card for turn. Drops a Ruby Shard, bringing him up to 5 resources. Plays his Champion Power, going up to 19 health and dropping Mithonia to 9. We'll see if he plays that Zentos Inquisitor again. Nope, he's going to play a Life Siphon for all 5, so Karn will go up to 24 health and Mithonia down to 4. So Mithonia is in dire straits here. He needs to draw something big here. Maybe a Life Siphon of his own to kind of delay the inevitable. It's not looking good here. Karn at 24, Mithonia at 4. Karn passes turn back over to Mithonia, who draws Incantation of Fear for this turn. Mithonia will drop his Sapphire Shard. Followed by the Incantation of Ascendance. And then looks like Mithonia is probably going to use his Champion Charge Power, which will put a counter on, counter on immediately. He draws another Incantation of Fear. He will play that, which is the Blood Incantation card, which is a 2-drop. That says on any card put in the graveyard from his opponent, put a counter on here. When it reaches 5 counters, it turns into a Maddening Nightmare, which is 6/4, and at the beginning of each opponent's turn, they will reveal the top card. You can choose whether you like to bury it or not. Passes turn to Karn, draws card. And let's see what Karn here. Life Siphon, that's going to be for 5, and that will end the game. Without counter magic available for Mithonia, he exhausted all his resources, so he couldn't use a counter magic there. So Karn does take match 1. This is going to be a double header of sorts between Karn and MythicFishMom. So stay tuned to the next episode of Shardcast, which we will feature that same duo. And I'm going to venture, because if I remember correctly, they use the same decks too. We'll see if it works out a little bit better for MythicFishMom. In the meantime, that is our 14th episode of Hex. Sorry about that. Hex Shardcast. And until next time, so long. Brace yourself.